now, you're rocking with the best. You are now, rocking with the best.
Anyways, welcome to the 605 Show podcast with your hosts, Alana Snyder and
Daniel Card.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
See, whenever, like now when we match, I just want to put my hair in a bun so I match her even more.
Get some gray highlights.
And you're all cocky last episode. You're like, well, yeah, it's easy to match me when I'm always in black.
Was I in black last episode?
You were.
That's fair.
I don't forget these things.
Yeah,
they mean a lot to me.
That's why I think it's a ploy. I think there's some sort of a ruse going on.
Yes. How was your Labor Day?
Good.
Did you labor?
Yes.
You did?
I did. It's a busy time of year for us, so yeah. Got a couple extra things done.
Good for you.
You know, got
I definitely did not labor.
The office. You know, I don't have a very long commute down here.
Oh.
So.
Well, there you go.
It's about 500 feet. So.
Wait, do you live in the building?
Next door.
Oh. What is it?
The Crane Center.
The murder's in the house.
In the house. The call is coming from inside the house.
And it's Dan, and he really wants to work.
Come through the vents like you ever seen Community?
Yes.
Where Ben was it Ben Chang, played by the same guy that's in The Hangover and all sorts. I forget the actor's name, but he's like living in the vents.
Oh,
and
yes.
They catch him like falling out of the vents one day.
That's pretty much what you do here.
That's my life.
I think 3D.
Yeah, it's actually a documentary. But no, my Labor Day was good. My Labor Day was pretty good. What about you?
It was good. I was supposed to go to the lake, and then the person I was going to their lake, I was really excited. I haven't been to a lake in like 4 years.
Any lake?
Any lake. They don't want me. So anyways, they still don't want me because then my friend got sick and then she canceled on me.
Just a dry land Alana. Huh?
And it was after they painted a picture, like before I found out she was sick. They're like, we're going to go on a night cruise. We're going to go have a nice dinner. And then we're going to go have a girls cruise and have a sleepover. And I was like, fantastic. And 20 minutes later, she texted me and canceled. I'm like, I wouldn't have been as sad if you hadn't painted this picture for me.
Yeah, you did this whole like voiceover voice and like read me this description of this event.
A night cruise?
Pour
moi?
A girls sleepover?
A goils?
Goils?
No boys allowed even? But anyways.
Sounds like great.
I mean, the idea was wonderful. But, you know, it's like one of those things. It's a thought that counts.
Yeah. That's all that counts now. That's all you got.
I know, that's all I have. But anyways, what we have been working on, right now we're working on the October issue, but right now the September issue is on the stands, and it is our September Home and Design. This Justin, don't talk over Greta's intro.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing the intro right now.
This Justin, our September Home and Design issue is out. Follow along as we browse the local art at Rose and Eugene, get the scoop on BH Construction, and check out the renovations happening at the Lodge at Deadwood. Pick up a copy statewide or visit 605magazine.com. A lot of cool things happening.
Yeah, I like the inflection there at the end. There's a lot of cool stuff going on.
That's Nichols Painting Company on the front. They're like this amazing couple. Definitely worth an Instagram follow. I would find them.
Okay.
This really adorable couple that paints like a lot of historical homes and brings them back to life.
Cool.
And they also do modern homes, I should add. But
cool. Specializing in the more historic homes. It's a nice home behind them. I'm assuming that's one of their projects.
No, they'd actually just have nowhere to go.
They just top down wherever.
Like, well, I just carried this branded briefcase. And
is that what they?
Yeah.
It's like an old school branded briefcase.
I know. It's like actually kind of amazing.
You got like an old timey stethoscope and a bone saw in there. And like, it's kind of giving me those vibes.
And we featured, like I said, Rose and Eugene Presents. And it's an art gallery and shop. Have you been there yet?
No.
It's at the Cascade of the Falls. In Sioux Falls. The Falls. And I went today, and they have a bunch of regional and local art, and it was fantastic.
We'll have to check that out. Run down the street here.
Really good greeting cards. You can never underestimate a good greeting card.
Yeah.
Especially for the Goyles. Buy and fly your friends. Okay, upcoming events.
Making a quick note, greeting cards at Cascade.
For the Goyles.
For the
It's really great. Upcoming events, we have the South Dakota Film Festival, September 14th through the 17th at the Capitol Theater in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
That theater's really cool. Have you been there?
Driven by it.
They gave us a tour once. It's really cool.
That's an interesting picture. That is is it Kevin from The Office?
That's what I was just going to say. Is that the guy from The Office?
Yeah.
Is he zooming in?
Yeah.
Is he wearing a Packers shirt?
Like a virtual call. It would also appear he's wearing a Packers shirt. But this is from the I want to say last year's a previous festival. It might not be last year, but this is from them, from a previous festival.
I've always wanted to go there. And then they have like an after event at the Red Rooster coffee shop, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I just went to Aberdeen a couple weeks ago for their downtown black party, and it was pretty amazing.
A lot of cool stuff going on in Aberdeen these days.
But yeah, experience the magic of cinema on the big screen at the annual South Dakota Film Festival. It's a 4-day festival with various short films created by filmmakers located around the Great Plains region, and partake in engaging discussions. Purchase your tickets online. More info, southdakotafilmfest.org. Also, a really fun event, the Great Downtown Pumpkin Festival, September 23rd at Main Street Square in Rapid City, 10 a.m. You can see a big ass pumpkin.
Is it David? Thank you, David S. Pumpkin.
It really is. I think they do they do pumpkin tosses.
That looks like slightly more than a toss. That might be a yeet.
Yeet.
Yeah, yeet.
But yeah, that's one of their most popular events of the whole year at Main Street Square. So check that out. Celebrate the harvest season with the 15th annual, Downtown Pumpkin Festival. Venture down for the day of fall fun, including a giant pumpkin weigh-off. That's what I'm telling you, big A's pumpkins.
Big A's
a pumpkin catapult, the kids zone. There's a Z in there, so you know it's cool. Pumpkin painting, hay rides. Oh, I love hay rides. Vendors and more. You don't like a hay ride?
Only if it's hay rides with a Z.
Hay rides.
So you know they're cool.
Oh, especially when you have the goils with you. Bring it back.
Goils.
And then there's Light the Night, September 30th at Falls Park in Sioux Falls, 5:30 p.m. Light the Night is dedicated to celebrating, honoring, and remembering those touched by cancer. Enjoy a family-friendly event filled with activities, food trucks, music, followed by a ceremony and a 1-mile walk with meaningful lanterns held high. The evening ends with a celebration of fireworks. More info, lightthenight.org.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of cool stuff. There's the dates. What is it? 605magazine.com/event-directory.
Perfect.
Or you can just search 605 magazine events.
We
and
have them
see
all over the place.
all of that stuff that's going on
Yeah, there's the
this month.
Sidewalk Arts Festival this weekend, which I think means there's German Fest creeping up too. Usually they're around the same time. And
That might be the weekend after, because that's usually like mid-September.
Oh.
I don't think it's quite in October. I'm not sure.
And then the Buffalo Roundup coming up.
Buffalo Roundup.
And then we have this thing called CultureCon.
Tell me more about that.
Oh, just some losers put together. No, talk about it, because it's Sioux Falls and in the Black Hills this time.
It's Sioux Falls and in the Black Hills this time. So we're doing both. September 19th in Sioux Falls at the Denny Sanford Premier Center, and then September 26th technically in Box Elder at the Box, which is the new event center. Live Hospitality, Live Hotel Group out there put this property together over the last year. It's beautiful. It's brand new. A lot of cool stuff happening out there, but we really wanted the event out there to encompass all of the Black Hills, because that whole community, right? It's there's multiple cities out there. You got all these different areas, but bringing all those folks together. So we got a whole bunch of folks from Rapid. We got people from all over the community. We'll have a significant amount of folks from Oyate Health Center coming out. We have some students. We got some Air National Guard. So it'll be a cool time. And then we have the CEO of the Crazy Horse Memorial and Monument.
Oh, wow.
Is speaking. And then we got a few other folks from the community in that area. So it'll be really, really cool.
Yeah.
So cool
What
event.
I like about it is you guys have like similar branding vibes, and obviously the same recipe for your events, but I like how both of them are very much catered to those communities, because they're so different and unique in their own way.
Well, like that was the whole purpose, is like it's not our event, and like we don't have any intent of coming out there and being like, hey, here's our thing, come do our thing. We want to come out there and make it the Black Hills thing, make it a community thing. That's really what we did in Sioux Falls, is we started to build it from the ground up. So we're kind of just mirroring the same playbook out there, and we spend a lot of time out there anyways, as it is for work and for clients. So it just makes sense to start doing this year over year.
And it's a whole day event.
All day.
Kind of go through for people who've never been to one.
So a lot of conferences, you'll break out and do breakouts, do random sessions, things like that. We kind of start the morning right away at 9 a.m. Goes all day. Single track in the same room. So we feature mostly, and our recipe is intended to feature mostly local talent. So almost everybody except for Vonnie and Tamian are going to be local to the hills, or at least that kind of western side of the state. And so we've got a great lineup. Teresa Hart is out there. She works with another tribal organization, Whitney, and he's the CEO of the Crazy Horse Memorial. His wife will also be speaking. And I want to say we got one other. We got one other speaker, Tasha Frida, I believe. She's local to the area, but will be traveling in for the event because she's out of town at the moment. So the 4 of them, and then we will also have Vonnie and Tammy kind of do their thing in the afternoon. I'll probably take 20, 30 minutes of the afternoon as well. So mostly folks that are from the area, and it's all day. So the first half of the day is kind of split into different focuses, whether it be community development, community culture, and then we kind of migrate into personal development or personal culture, and then we do workplace culture. And so the whole idea behind CultureCon is all the ways that culture permeates our lives. And so then we throw a kick-ass party afterwards for a couple hours.
You do a good job.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun this year. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll be September 26th at 3:30 p.m. when we're going into the after party. It'll be a good feeling because we'll kind of have
You'll be
pulled it
done.
off. Yeah, we'll be done.
I'm staying right there
Are you?
so I can waddle
Are you staying
home.
out there
Yeah.
at the thing?
Yeah.
Perfect. Good. Yeah, we got a whole block of rooms. We'll have a good crew out there.
I'm staying there with the Watiki.
Oh, yeah.
Indoor pool, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that at the courtyard? Is that at the?
It's connected to like 3 of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's that whole hotel.
It's like a
block
really
out
nice
there.
campus. They all have different vibes, but it's a really nice, and it's right off the interstate. So yeah, technically, it's pretty much in Rapid, but it's
Yeah,
technically the
technically Box
address
Elder.
says
Yep.
Box Elder.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? See what I'm throwing out there? But you know what else I'm throwing out? We have some guests,
We do have some guests today.
and we can. Oh, they're here. We've just been blatantly ignoring them.
Fastest transition ever.
Welcome.
Jump scare. Hello.
We have
Hello.
the Teresa Hart coming back. Second time guest.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Sorry, this time we don't have a lot of meat.
I know, right?
Because last time we were at Carnival and we got fed.
That's right.
And
I
that
have
was
a charcuterie
amazing.
tray next door from yesterday's potluck. If you want me to. Nope. All right.
Wait, from when?
We had a potluck like a day ago.
Sick.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, sick.
Can I have your
Gnarly.
day old donuts too? And we also have Kelsi with us.
We do have donuts. Hi.
Wait, you do have day old donuts?
We have donut holes somewhere sitting around.
You're a donut hole.
Wasn't there an
Thanks.
amazing dessert too there at Carnival?
Listen, don't bring it up.
They kept bringing us food.
Why we got to keep bringing up old stuff? You know, I know we don't have food here. Why you got to keep? You know?
Wait, was that our first video?
No, not at all. Our first video, we were in the design center. We had a Pistol Pete or whatever his name is from the old Deadwood. That's the
Oh, that's right. We had Deadwood Alive.
Deadwood Alive.
Yeah, they crack me up.
Yeah, we had a good time. We were in the design center. We were doing video back then.
I'm pretty sure like when we were at Carnival too, they gave us like a Jesus like Last Supper table, and they just like kept bringing us food.
Yes.
Yes.
We were right up against that
Yes.
wall that was like all metal, like that golden plated wall. And we kind of did the
Yes.
uplights, so it just looked.
Yes.
Those were the days.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. This is spectacular
Well, I
too,
mean-
though. So
Thank you.
It's a little bit more refined.
right.
I don't claim to be, never have a producer of any kind, but now we got a team of actual pros behind the ones and
Very
twos there
true.
doing their thing. So,
And we have a jackalope with sunglasses.
and we have a jackalope. We got children's books. Before I want to get into this real quick. Can we get it? Can I just ask you to tell me about this because you came in with one of these?
Absolutely. It's a book called Pawflexion. My sister Tracy authored it and illustrated by
Justina Amiot. She was a student at Dakota Wesleyan with me.
I love
Wow.
and based on real dogs
Yeah.
at a real hunting lodge. And there's pictures of the real dogs in the back of the book, and
Yeah.
it's just fantastic.
These are fantastic. I don't know if you can see this, but this is a really well put together book, and I'm excited to get into this. I said that I would give this to Brett because he's got little ones, but they might not make it that far.
You need to think about your pawflexion.
Your pawflexion. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
like reflection.
Yeah.
I
But,
got
like,
it.
Their paws. Do you want to know why?
Wait.
Do you get it?
I get it. I do get it. Wait, where's the
paws.
hunting lodge?
In Miller, South Dakota.
Oh.
They have two of
okay.
them, Dakota Wild Wings and the Back 40.
I've always wanted to like stay at one of those and like
Yes.
not have to hunt because like they're so epic.
Well, we're kind of getting into some topics on women's events, and that's one of them that we are looking at doing. So you might have to be on our invite
hey.
list.
I'm into it. Yeah, let's talk about it. So, women empowerment. Because last time you were talking to us, it was more like kind of couples and finances,
Right.
in like wedding season and what you should really consider. So we're going into women empowerment and finance and everything. So let's talk about that.
So it is no secret that the great wealth transfer is in process. And by 2030, 2/3 of the United States wealth will be held by women.
Dang.
$84 trillion will be moving hands from older generations to younger generations within the next 20 years. And I decided that, because I know the last time we talked, I was looking at doing my behavioral finance designation. Well, I've switched that, and I'm actually in the process of obtaining my certified divorce financial analyst designation, because we need to make women knowledgeable and give them the tools needed in order to manage the wealth.
Okay. And how do you do that?
Well, we hold many different events. We do have a gift for you as well. But we spoil women. We hold events like Women in Wealth. We give a little bit of information at our women's only intro to handguns. What else do we do, Kelsi?
Well, we have our Millionaires Club, our investment club.
That's an investment club where they call themselves the Millionaires Club, and technically I'm the economist for the group. So they hold their account with me. I'm there just as kind of a guide and whatnot, but it's $25 a month. Yeah. And we have, how many members are there?
I think
16 to 18.
Yeah, I think we're close to being at our max.
So it's just a lot of fun. You know, we bring women together. We talk about different things maybe going on in the economy, and if there's something that needs to be brought up as far as investments, or not even really that. I mean, we talk about individual stocks and things like that, but that's more with the group. They do their own research and that sort of thing. But if there's anything that needs to be brought up on taxes or updated rules and regulations, I tend to share that information. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What are you writing down? Like, get a wig and pretend I'm a woman so I can go
No,
to this
I'm just
event?
taking notes.
oh my gosh,
I wrote down. I wouldn't get very far.
It's like the ladybugs of
who's
like
that?
investment.
Who's the chick built like a Maytag with the mustache?
Tell me about some finance.
Yeah, hey bro.
So, and that's really cool. So go back to the handguns, because I know like a lot of women, I've had a lot of friends that whether they live alone or not, like they want to know, or they have a partner that they're like, I have this like gun in my house, and like if someone breaks in, I need to be able to use this, but they don't know where to go.
right. So so this is how it, going back to the investment club, this is how the Women's Intro to Handguns was born, actually, is because in 2012, I started the investment club, and one of the stocks purchased was Sturm Ruger. And at our next meeting, I said, you know, instead of just talking about it, let's actually use the product. And so I teamed up with Sodak Sports there in Mitchell, and the Davison County shooting range, indoor shooting range, teamed up with them both. We all sponsor this event. We have it twice a year.
That's awesome.
Our next one's coming up in November.
What's the date on that? November?
November 9th
November 9th.
from
awesome.
6 to 8 at the Davison County Shooting Club in Mitchell, South Dakota.
And Kelsi, do we have registration open yet on the website? Or
Don't.
we're going to be opening that soon.
And it'll be posted on our Facebook as soon as the registration is open.
Love it.
It fills up very quickly, and so we only take 30. Normally, I will allow 34 to 35 to register, because you're always going to have some that drop off. But there was one event where we had 27 women there.
Wow.
And there are, I believe, 8 stations. And we have volunteers, enough volunteers to help load the gun. We talk about gun safety. We talk about
just really how to use a firearm, because a lot of women that come in there have no idea.
Right.
And I was one of them 2 years ago when I went to my first gun shoot, and it's empowering.
Mm-hmm.
It is empowering.
It is one of the most amazing things that we do, I think. It's one of my favorite events.
Right.
And yeah.
We've also been tossing around the idea of inviting men to one, even if it's a couples thing, you know, because we have a number of women there that were more or less sent there by their husbands so that they could learn how to shoot. But it is really, truly a safe space to ask questions.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's not even like if you've speaking from my personal experience, I've been shown how to shoot like 5 times by my husband because he used to be a gun trainer, whatever they're called, instructor. I don't remember.
Right.
So it's like you gotta have those like annual refreshers.
Absolutely.
Because luckily, if you don't have to use it, you might forget how to use it.
Right.
Well, it all comes down to how often you train with it.
Right.
And how often you do that, and if you're not doing it all the time, or as often as you can. But even just knowing the basics of like if you ever did have to handle something, making sure that you're, you know, obviously being safe with it, clearing it, managing the weapon well is super important, regardless of your skill level. The other thing that came to mind though, like all this stuff kind of comes to mind, like the you mentioned the thing empowerment, and what I had asked was like that kind of comes down to 2 components. It's like education for one, but then confidence for 2. And I think like the confidence is like confidence is built, you know, giving people repetition in low risk environments.
Right.
Getting the chance to go shoot. And sometimes it's, listen, I've met a lot of husbands. I am a husband. Sometimes we say stupid stuff. And it's like, sometimes you're just not communicating the best you can. It doesn't matter how good you are. You could be, you know what I mean, fresh out of the military, like tier 1, and like just not be a great communicator with your spouse in that regard. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's cool. It's super cool you guys do that. Because there's that confidence factor of like, no, I'm really, really comfortable with this process. And it's something you can go to again and again. And yeah, I love it.
Right.
Yeah, that's another thing we've seen too is women bring in the handgun that their husband got for them, or you know the one that they got with their husband, and they shoot it for the first time, but they don't like it. So then they're able to test out the other handguns that they provide for us.
Oh yeah.
And find one that they like, that they would feel confident and comfortable shooting.
Yep.
So that's another great aspect of the event.
Yeah, there's one that John had in the gun safe that I had him switch the gun because it was like an Old West. And I was like, trying to like pull it back. And I'm like, I'm dead, John. At this point, I'm dead. Like whoever is in the house got me. Like no.
It must have been like a single action revolver.
Something. I don't know what it was, but I was like, what are you doing to
John's
me?
also like, and again, he's going to see this. So I would tell him this to his face, but he's going to see this. He's a gearhead. He's way too smart for his own good. And he's kind of a hipster about it. So like he's going to find like the obscure, you know what I mean? Like
what do you mean you don't know how to use this 1800s, whatever, antique I got? What? But anyways, so with women empowerment, tell us why that's important to you, and then other ways you do that besides the handguns, other things like that.
As we said earlier, women need the person in their corner that can show them and allow them to take control, be confident in their investment choices, their financial planning choices, all of it. And I think too that unfortunately, and again, why I switched my study from behavioral to divorce is that I think we've discussed before, but I'm divorced. I have 3 children. I've been divorced for, I believe, Kate is 12, so 12 years, a little less than 12 years. And I just felt like when I went through that, I felt defeated and horribly ridiculous. You know, like I did something wrong, or that it was just a horrible feeling, horrible situation. Yep. So what I want to do is totally change that around.
Yeah.
Because divorce, unfortunately, is something that is prevalent. It's happening more than we care to admit. But guess what? Let's empower women and men so that divorce doesn't have to be defeating. You can come out of it starting a brand new life with brand new intentions and a great skill set for your investments, your child custody, whatever it is. I just feel like I am the person that if I'm complaining about it, I want to do something to change it. So if that's helping people with their divorce and, helping them navigate through that to be healthier, happier individuals, then that's just one piece of it. But
and just knowing your current state in general, because it's like whether you're, no one's planning to get divorced, but it's like just feeling secure every day with your financial decisions.
Right. And what is
individually?
What is the biggest fight that
The money.
couples have? Money. And that's why, too, I'm such a firm believer in paying off your debt.
Don't talk to me about it.
Yeah, we've had that conversation before.
My credit card's in the background, like, me.
Burning
Stop
all
hurting me. Hug, snap,
Well, like, I don't know. I mean, just for transparency, I went through a divorce at a really young age, super early. My best friend did the same thing, but right around the same time. It was weird. Something's in the water. You're like, it's just like, you know what I mean? I don't know, but it was just like the same situation where it's like, and we both kind of had that realization through that. It was, for both of us in very different ways. It was like life altering, life bettering in a way. Again, very different journeys, but like the end result was like kind of that. Like you said, like we came out of it, we're like, oh, like kind of look around at everybody and they're like, man, like there's a lot of this like stuff going around, whether it be relationship stuff, family stuff, but like it's way more common. And I think helping people challenge that stigma that that it's this destructive thing.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't need to be.
Like people say like, oh, you went through divorce, like, oh. And like, I'm not trying to normalize divorce. Like I am in no way, shape, or form being like everybody go get a divorce.
No, right? No.
Watch, that's the clip that credit today.
Dan says, everyone go get like a tabloid.
Soundbite. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I think recently I had one of my really good friends go through that, and I think the challenge for him was like him and his ex-wife they were really like, we want to make this as positive as possible. We want to make this as amicable as possible and like better for everybody around us. Like we think it's the right call. We both think it's the right call, all this stuff. And the hardest part was like sometimes folks around him.
Right.
You mean doing that? So how do we change some of that where it doesn't have to be, you're already going through a ton, regardless of how the circumstance.
And when you start thinking about how do you split assets, how do you split an IRA, how do you figure out the value of a pension currently? How do you, how many teachers do we have? How many South Dakota State
Trigger warning. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dan.
No, it's just like, and I wasn't even, my situation was as picture perfect as it could have been, but like, I just think about all the questions I've gotten since then for folks like who've gone through it. And like, it's, got somebody in our office, just one of my guys in the office has gone through too. And it's like, still, how do you educate folks? Right. And especially like, I think educating women in that regard is super important because there's not a lot of that specific and intentional education. It's kind of like, well, deal with it whenever.
Well, now more than ever, they're making equally, if not more than the partner.
Yeah.
So they have to be able to
protect your assets.
And what's really awesome too is I've actually been having conversations with like females in their 20s.
Yes.
First off, I feel dumb. And I'm like, where were you when I was in my 20s? Because they're like, yeah, I have about 45K like in investments. I'm like, excuse? They're like, I worked my ass off and then I have an advisor. And I'm like, I would never have thought of that at like 24. Yeah, I'm stupid.
But like, they didn't need it back then.
Well, and I hope that 24-year-old has that much in cash, but not $100,000 in student loan debt.
Right.
And so that's the other piece of it too, is trying to help somebody be financially independent, financially secure, so that when they get married, there's not a whole lot they have to worry about as far as finances.
Yeah.
Right.
To hopefully prevent that divorce from happening. But
And you have to like lean on someone like person to person, like have a relationship like with you guys, because like, especially nowadays, you can follow people on TikTok and then you're like, I am about to have a panic attack half the time because whatever they're saying, they're like, if you're doing this, you're doing it wrong. And then you obviously can't bounce ideas off of them. So you're just like, oh God, my life.
Well, like that's the thing about like TikTok and content like that. Like it's a monolith and it's designed to be like whatever it is. It's just like it's absolute. Like these are the 10 things you shouldn't do with your money, and you can't have a dialogue with this person about like, what happens if like this? Nope, it's just that's what it is, and you get 45 seconds of just like you're fucking up your whole financial situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the education piece is super important. I think it's super big, and then also like I think like you guys have a super pivotal role. Like you guys have the potential to change people's lives.
Right.
Like if people can figure out how to talk about money without fighting about it.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Yeah, help us.
Yeah, and maybe that's a good point too, as far as not being afraid to discuss issues with our kids. I think my kids, Kelsi is my daughter, just FYI, but I think that my kids are at an advantage because they've seen me struggle, and I didn't hide it. Yeah. And I'm telling them, I'm not only saying learn from me, I'm telling you this. I'm saying, learn from me. You saw me go through it. Right. So, let's do better. And my two oldest ones are fantastic. I have a 12-year-old yet, but I'm sure she'll be the same way, but great at handling money. And
the 12-year-old probably already has.
Oh yeah,
72K.
No, she's so smart.
She have a crypto
she does her chores and stuff and gets paid for them. Then she saves all that money. Yeah. Then they go to the store and she still asks mom to buy stuff for her.
Oh, genius.
She doesn't even got to spend her own money.
No, she's diversifying her supply chain.
She's got free room and board.
Yeah. I'll pay you $10 an hour for the yard. And then she outsources somebody for $5 an hour so she can keep the $5 and not have to do the yard work.
You know what I'm saying? So talk about, before we jump into the game, what other events do you have coming up?
Well, we have our Women in Wealth that we kind of mentioned. That's October 5th.
That's a fun women's trivia.
Oh no.
Game night. That's at the Depot there in Mitchell.
Wait, is it trivia done by women or trivia regarding women? Like the
all things women trivia.
Okay.
And but it's not just women.
Well, it kind of is. It's women in finance trivia. But there's no pressure. It's just a fun, lighthearted night. Yeah. A ton of fun.
Cocktails, appetizers.
We did it last year and we had a blast. Nice. So
yes.
It's not like you got to go in. It's not like they have a credit score application. Like you got to.
I get kicked out. Like, I get booted out of the Depot like a movie. Like, get out of here, you stupid.
Never.
Yeah. So our Women in Wealth, October 5th, in Mitchell at the Depot from 6 to 7, and then our Women's Only Intro to Handgun, November 9th. From 6 to 9. And then we also have more of a client appreciation. So all of our clients, and that's in the summertime, we have a parking lot barbecue.
Oh, fun.
That we have all of our clients come and
nice.
Just catch up and see them. And
the staff and I grill the hot dogs and hamburgers. And
nice.
We have live music. And
I got a photo here of what I think is a handgun event.
Well, I'd hope that's
the one on the right.
Yep.
Yes. And the one on the left is our 100 Women United. That's a community event that I help with. So.
Cool.
I love it. And
so you guys are indoor, at the indoor range.
Yes.
So you're in Mitchell, but for people, like, you can see people statewide, right? Like through Zoom if they want to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm licensed in I don't know how many states and have clients everywhere. So
perfect.
Yeah, we're on Facebook and LinkedIn also. Hart Financial Group.
You got it.
I love it. Should we try the game?
We should try the game. Events, though. So if somebody wants to register for your handgun or the Women in Wealth, heartfinancial.net, right?
Yep.
The website.
/events.
All right, cool.
Let's try this game.
Oh my gosh,
I'm excited. / nervous.
Yeah, me too.
I would like to give a shout out to Greta because the last few games have been excellent.
Oh, you actually get to see Greta in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Does she even know she did that?
Watch, it's like suddenly pulled down.
Because she tries to be so mysterious.
She does. She just refuses to contribute.
What, she just won an acting award. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's like you're not
I get
shy.
that. You don't want to bring your hobbies to work. Yeah,
I guess.
I begrudgingly cook for the team. Sometimes
that's true.
I don't want to bring Tones over
You
there
never cook for
laughing.
me.
Tone.
You never cook for me, bro.
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 Well, we'll do a party. All right. So the name of the game, folks, Financial Fiascos, with Teresa Hart. I don't have introductory music, so just pretend. All right, welcome to Financial Fiascos with Teresa Hart. Okay, so rules of the game, quick. For those watching at home, I'm going to pull this up so they can read it. Oh no, is right. Dan, Alana, and other members of the 605 crew find themselves heading down paths that lead to financial ruin. These are their stories. Insert Law and Order. Dun, dun. The rules: we have to give practical, tangible solutions out of these situations. She really puts some pressure on this. For free? I don't know if she can give that much advice for free.
Oh my gosh.
All right, here we go. Alana's health crisis. That looks like a very upset Alana. Alana recently underwent a major surgery without adequate health insurance coverage. Rookie mistake.
Ain't it the truth?
Resulting in medical debt of 20 stacks.
Dang.
For the $20,000.
This next one's not just the game. She had to rely on credit cards.
So she's heavy in credit card debt. She now owes $8K on her credit card. She pays $200 a month in credit card payments. She also is a heavy smoker who spends $300 a month on cigarettes.
She made me a smoker?
Man, just really giving it to you. Her living expenses total $4,000 a month, and she pays $300 a month for health insurance premium. She has $1,500 in savings and has reduced her retirement contributions from $400 to $100 a month. What would Teresa do? Alana's monthly income is $6,800.
Oh, that's nice.
You would quit smoking immediately. Immediately.
Get that cigarette out of your mouth.
You would. There are more things to this issue, this problem, that I would need to know, because that's a pretty good monthly income. What is it, $6,800 a month?
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was like, good for me.
Not terrible.
So,
Okay.
so yeah, we
Baller.
need to figure out like where the rest of your money is going then, if you can't afford to pay your debt, but just pay your debt.
Yeah, give up the menthols, man.
But how, man?
It's not a very exciting solution, but
But it's the right answer.
it's what's got to be done.
I have these talks to myself when I am like, gosh, my credit card. But Inca sounds delicious, doesn't it?
It does.
And like anymore, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to spend a couple $100 at the grocery store. What's $40 in tacos?
What is your stance on OnlyFans to help pay off debt?
No comment.
I'm just saying. All right.
I thought you were doing as an expense. I thought you were going to bring it up as an expense.
No.
Alana
What do you
spends
know?
$900 a month on OnlyFans. Okay, so Teresa's advice, just to summarize, quit the really money draining habits.
Right.
Start saving some cash, and then we'd probably have to sit down and look at your other expenses.
Pay off your debt.
If she's
Yeah, just
got,
pay the debt. The medical debt too, you could probably call and see if they would knock off 10% or so.
True.
Just to help you out.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, if you call them and say, if I pay it all right now,
Yeah.
they'll give you 10%.
Yeah, seems like a lot of panicked responses in here from Alana in a health crisis, reducing the retirement contribution.
I'm
Right.
really, I'm really
I mean,
freaking out
you
here.
know, I mean, you didn't have to really do that, Alana, because you're making $6,800 a month.
I know.
Doesn't it make your blood pressure go up though? It's a completely fictional situation, but you're just like,
Alana's about to lose her mind.
I will
I'm gonna lose your
I will
mind.
give you 4 months to get that debt paid in full.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Watch me.
5 months, maybe 6
I'll
months.
go to
but
Lewis and get my fake patch
yeah.
and get going on that. All right, who's next on this?
Dan's shopping problem. Cue
Look
the
at that
photo
sun.
from 2000 and geez,
I make
2012.
almost double than what you make in my
Yeah.
fake life.
Yeah. Income is $3,500 a month. All right. Dan is a fashionista. Oh, let's see. I guess life imitates art, huh? Yeah. He spends an average of $500 per month on clothes, shoes, and specialty designer fedoras. Get the hell out of here, Greta. He has 3 credit cards, each with a $5,000 limit, but he has maxed out 2 of them. So the 2 of the 3 are at max capacity. The third one has a balance of $4,000, almost at max capacity. He subscribes to 2 monthly fashion boxes at $50 a month.
How'd you think of that?
He spends an extra $300 a month impulsively, with another $100 a month spent for emotional reasons.
What does that mean?
It's almost like she's been watching me at home in my apartment. It's almost like she knows. He often misses payments and incurs late fees of about $50 a month. He does not have any investments or savings. What would Teresa do?
Well,
I'm going to get my math out here.
Tell you to go to a counselor for those.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I mean, it's
send you to
just-
shopping rehab.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, I don't know that there's any help for Dan.
Oh no.
Nope.
We've lost him.
That's fair. We've lost him. I'm just subtracting numbers over here.
He can't afford to see a psychologist or someone to talk to him about his shopping addiction. But, you know, when you're upwards of $15,000 in credit card debt, it's time to
And you're making...
reel that habit in.
Is this fake, Dan? Because you're taking notes.
I was just doing math.
Yeah, are you spending your entire monthly income on? How are you affording your home and?
That's what I was doing the math. No, it's
You're
kind of...
homeless. They buried the lead. Where does all the
Without
mail
on the
go?
street.
Without the credit card payments, it doesn't say anything about, you know, this fictional Dan
Wink, wink.
doing anything with his credit card payments. But without credit card payments, he's still making, you know, it would be a $29.50 take home after all the expenses listed here. And then it's like, you know, you got to figure like there's another maybe $750, $800 a month on the credit card payments, and then you're left with $2,000. It's like,
I want to see what styles your fake fashion boxes have.
yeah, what's with the fedoras, man? Like
You know, she just dug that in there.
That's so hilarious. Yeah.
specialty
Well,
designer fedoras. All right, let's
Dan
do,
Zero.
You'll have to wear a fedora for the next show.
I won't. I won't ever.
This is Greta. This is our first time seeing Greta.
First time seeing Greta.
Divorce from hell.
She told
Did
me
she
about that
photo-
photo shoot.
Is that a menthol cigarette?
Like literally, she and her friends, or I think this was actually with her roommate maybe, but they like just do weird photo shoots just for fun. So they're like, what if we did a photo shoot where it looks like we're smokers? Because I did the photo shoot.
All right. Send it, I guess, huh? Let's just do that. Greta's divorce from hell. Let's see here. So Greta has recently been divorced. Legal expenses have already reached $10,000, and she has used some of her savings to cover them. She owns the family home, which costs $2,500 a month. She's been ordered to pay $1,500 a month in alimony and $800 a month in child support. Her monthly living expenses are $2,000 as the sole provider for 2 children. She took out a personal loan with a high interest rate to cover immediate financial needs. She owes $15,000 on the loan, and the monthly payments are an additional $500. She has halted her retirement contributions of $1,000 a month, and she's got $5,000 left in savings. Greta makes $8,000 a month.
God, Greta, what do you do?
I hate to say it, but she's going to need to consider selling her home
And downsizing.
and downsizing. Yes.
It's kind of the trend these days, you know.
$2,500 a month for the house.
That's
and then,
that's a bit.
and you have to wonder if that's just the house payment, or does that include electricity and everything else that comes with home ownership? I'm not sure, but $1,500 a month in alimony. Yeah, she definitely needs to, sell the house because she owes $15,000 on the loan, and the monthly payments are an additional $500. Or go back to court, redo
right?
that alimony.
But she can't
thing,
afford that
'cause-
lawyer.
No.
Look,
Not
she's
even,
so she's
and
so
she can't
stressed.
afford it even at $8,000. She took up smoking.
She can't afford that cigarette. Yeah, what?
Yeah, she came over to your place and took all your cigarettes.
Yeah, she's probably like, I'll help you stop
Yeah.
by starting smoking.
Yeah. That's a stressful situation. This is a real life situation for some people, though.
Man.
It's like, yeah. So Teresa's advice, sell the home.
Yeah, sell the home and reevaluate who she's working with as far as an attorney. Because with where she's at, she's not going to be able to afford to pay that in alimony. She has to pay that, right? She's not getting paid.
No,
Yep.
she's paying.
Ordered
She's,
to pay.
she's the sole provider.
$1,500 in alimony and $800 a month in
I'm
child
talking like it's
support.
real.
She's
So,
got $2,300
You know.
in expenses, and she's the primary care provider.
I don't get it, girl.
Yeah, who's your lawyer? A cardboard
Yeah,
box?
she's paying child support, but she's the sole provider.
Man.
So
So
that
Greta
household.
might be off then on her numbers or her information.
Bottom line, Greta, sell the house, find a new attorney.
Right.
There you go.
Shut it down.
And stop smoking.
Yeah.
Stop smoking.
All right, John's embezzlement nightmare. Oh no, John was caught embezzling from his employer, leading to criminal charges. Oh, that's good news. And a conviction. So not only was he charged, he was convicted.
Man.
After serving time, he has found a new job. He was fined $50,000 as part of the conviction, and his legal fees cost $15,000. He was ordered to pay restitution, of $150,000 over several years. He has a personal loan of $10,000 with payments of $300. His living expenses are $2,500, and he is attending therapy at a cost of $200.
Finally, someone's
a
getting
month.
therapy in this.
Listen, he's got to bump those numbers up though. He runs a monthly deficit of $500 and has $1,000 remaining in his savings. John makes $3,000 a month. He's running a deficit. What would Teresa do?
He probably would need to go see a bankruptcy attorney at this point.
Chapter 27 or whatever it is.
Whatever it would be. Chapter 11,
Chapter
chapter
11, that's what it
7,
is.
chapter whatever. So,
All right.
yeah.
Oh, man.
You bankrupt.
Yeah.
Bye, John. Go back
Listen,
to jail.
man.
That's a tough
Yeah.
one. Tough one to get out of.
Listen, man. You don't want to do the time.
Don't do the crime.
Don't do the crime, man. Or, you know what I mean? It's rough. It's rough. Financial crimes are rough.
You get sent to the clinker.
Yep. Bankruptcy at that point, because he's really up against it.
And I'm not sure, exactly how that all works when you have restitution to pay.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I
They've
don't
got
know.
to have something. Yeah, because you always see those stories where they're like, they owe the family like $2 million,
Right.
but they have like nothing.
Right.
So where's it going to come
There's sometimes you can do some lending stuff, sometimes you can do a payment plan.
from? Oh, okay, Dan.
Depends.
Is that what you
Settlements. What's up?
did? Is that what you did?
I wonder if John maybe
No
needs to ask his boss for
comment.
a raise.
John should ask his boss for a raise. John,
His new boss.
yeah, his new boss.
maybe you are the new boss.
No.
John, what John should do is
I'm gonna
go
retire.
through Leaders of Tomorrow Justice Impacted.
No, there you go.
Go through
Plug.
16 weeks of personal development leadership training.
Yeah.
So this doesn't happen again. John.
He looks embarrassed about it in that photo,
Looks like he looks like such a Hufflepuff in that photo. Is that what the shirt he's wearing?
Yeah.
Is it Hufflepuff?
Yeah, it's from a Harry Potter convention.
I would not have called him for a Hufflepuff fan.
He wanted to be one, but then he is totally accepted that he is Slytherin.
I would say Slytherin or Ravenclaw because he's very like
Oh, yeah.
principled. You know,
Yeah, he has those on the spectrum moments.
as do we all. Aren't we all in our own way?
Aren't we all?
All right. I think this is the last
Oh,
one.
Kaylin.
Kaylin's college catastrophe. All right. Kaylin is a full-time college student who earns $1,000 a month from a part-time job. She's accumulated $30,000 in loans with an average 5.5% interest rate. She was also involved in a car crash and was at fault.
Oh.
She is paying $2,500 auto insurance deductible and $4,000 in medical bills. After insurance coverage, her minimum monthly loan payments are $200, while her monthly expenses are $800, a figure not including the car medical bills. Kaylin has nothing in savings. Kaylin's monthly income is $1,000, as we said earlier.
Oofda.
What would Teresa do?
So in this instance, what I would do is find some more work.
Okay.
Part-time is not cutting it.
No.
Even if you're going to school, you need to work more than that to get a little larger of a paycheck. And can you put it up there again,
I can.
Dan, a little bigger? Because there were some other things. If I were her, I would try really hard not to take any more student loans out. But at the same time, with the list of things she's got going on there, that's probably low on the totem pole because she's still in school. So as long
Would
as
you just take less credits then to work more?
well, that or she just works her ass off and
Right, and then goes back to school?
basically works 2 full-time jobs, one school, one a
Yep.
job.
Dang.
And then I think, how many times do we hear it? You increase your income, it solves a lot of problems, right? So
Yep.
That might help her in this instance.
All right.
We believe in you, Kaylin.
All right,
Also, you
Caitlin,
could ask mommy and daddy for a little help if you're a college student. You know what I'm saying?
pick up the phone if you call the rents. You know what I mean? If you got that kind of relation, call the parents.
Give them a couple
Otherwise,
tears, little crocodile
a couple
tears.
Tears. Otherwise, stack that cheddar is the technical term for what Teresa has said.
And you know what's kind of popular these days is, which, again, it's if you have the relation. if you can move back in with mom and dad, save money on that rent or that dorm.
Yeah. Get your bag up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Get them dollar bills back.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Kaylin. Well, we wish you well on the road to financial recovery. That's the end. Thanks for playing, folks.
Wow.
What are some, at the end of this, because these are a lot of funny fictional scenarios, what are just some basic top 3 things that like everybody should be doing to ensure they don't end up like us, them in the game?
Yeah, wink us.
My best advice is to stay out of debt. Do not go into debt. Stay out of debt. If you're in debt, get out of debt. The only way it works when you get out of debt is if you don't go back into debt.
Okay.
Because debt will and can ruin a person, especially if you're taking on a lot of risk.
Okay.
You know, I have a number of people I know that are leveraged with real estate debt.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's oops.
Couldn't be me.
But and they look at it as healthy and it's going to be financially awesome, you know. But what happens if catastrophe strikes and you're not able to pay that, or something happens with the loan and they call the note and they, you know, I mean, there are a number of things. There's a lot of risk on the table
For sure.
when you're taking that on.
So it's what I'm hearing is it depends on your risk appetite. Because like, you know, I'm always curious, and I'm curious to get like it's nice to have a financial pro right in front of me so I can ask this question. Because sometimes I roll my eyes at like sometimes the hustle creators, like the entrepreneur creators, and they're like, debt is good. Like you need debt to like leverage, you know what I mean? Growth.
Oh yeah,
They say that?
It's like, people say that where like they'll say like, yeah, you should be leveraging debt.
I have a
right,
number
in
of
order to, like,
colleagues
grow
that
your
feel that
thing.
way.
Yeah. Okay. So like different schools of thought, different mentalities on like risk,
Right.
where people stand, what's practical for people. Like, is
You
that
know,
more of
the other thing too is that, so you take this person over here and they own $2 million in real estate. $1.5 million of it is on loans,
Debt, yeah.
but they have $8 million in paid off real estate over here.
Yeah.
Well, that person's totally different than this person over here that has $2 million with $1.5 million of it in loans with nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's like,
Because they're
one time
leveraging.
I had a young kid call me and say, my grandpa is putting money into individual stocks, and he gave me like 4 different penny stocks. And I said, you cannot base what you're investing in on what your grandpa is investing in. That's like saying this person who's making $45,000 a year compared to this person who is in their 70s making $150,000 a year, they should not be investing in the same thing, more than likely. You know, or
Right.
this person over here that has a $950,000 401k and investing $5,000 into a penny stock is different than this person over here who's a college student who's got their Robinhood account, and
Yeah.
I don't care if it's $500, they can't afford to do that.
Yep.
You
Right.
know?
For sure. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. So we got manage debt.
Manage debt. If you have no debt, start investing,
Investing.
whether it be a 401k, Roth IRA,
Got it.
and hire me as your financial planner.
I was waiting for that. I'm like,
Hire
say
Hart
you,
Financial.
girl.
Let's see.
I do want to give a quick disclaimer. During that game, it was all hypothetical. If you can relate to any of those circumstances, talk to your financial professional.
That's a good idea, Kelsi. Thank you.
That is a good disclaimer, Kelsi. Thank
I don't
you
want
for
us to
watching
have
out
to
for
take
us.
the game out. So.
As far as compliance issues go, compliance issues aside, if you have a question, Do not contact the 605 show or 605 magazine. Contact your
We know nothing.
financial professional.
That's why they should call me also.
Yes, contact a financial pro. Yes, this is funny. That was a good time. That was a good game.
Well, awesome. Well, anything else you want to add before we?
I just really
I almost
appreciate
said hit the hay. What's that? I almost said before we hit the hay, before we go have a little sleepover with the Goyles.
The Goyles. Not anymore. They're going on a night cruise.
Oh, yeah, true.
Whatever that means.
And I really don't have anything else, you guys. I really appreciate you having us over again. And
Well, thanks for roughing it with us in the new studio. I know we don't have a variety of meats, as you so eloquently put it.
But we're leaving without meat sweats.
But
now.
we're leaving, yes, at a much more, a much better feeling going on. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming back, you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks
Another
for having
605
us.
show
Yeah.
in the books.
Another one in the books.
Boom.
You are now rocking with the. You are now you're rocking with the. You are now.